Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to A Moment with Kasisi. I'm sure you have had an experience where you came to your friend with great energy in anticipation of sharing a story or success. And when you shared that success, your friend said something that deflated your confidence. It's most likely that that was an invitation from your friend, and your reaction was an acceptance of that invitation. In today's broadcast, as we continue seeking wisdom that we may gain understanding, we will be looking at John chapter 3, verse 25 and 26, and we will meet a group of people who are invited into a controversy, and how they react to that or reacted to that controversy depended so much on how much they were willing to accept the invitation to a controversy. My name is Kasisi Kĩriakũ, and karibu sana. As usual, I will begin by reading my translation, both in English and Swahili, as taken from the Greek text. And here is my translation, which is John chapter 3, verse 25 and 26. Then a controversy arose on the part of the disciples of Jonah with a Judean concerning purification. Kikuyu. Thutha ũcio gũkĩgĩa ngarari gatagatĩ-inĩ ka arutwo amwe a Yohana na Mũyudea ũmwe ũhoro-inĩ wĩgiĩ gwĩtheria. Verse 26. They came to John and said to him, Rabbi, he who was with you on the other side of Jordan, to whom you testified about, look, this man is baptizing, and everyone is coming to him. Now magĩũka kwĩ Yohana, makĩmwĩra, Mũrutani, mũndũ ũrĩa mũrarĩ nake mũrĩmo ũrĩa ũngĩ wa Yorodani, ũrĩa warutire ũira ũmũkoniĩ, ta kĩrore, mũndũ ũyũ nĩ arabatithania, na o mũndũ o wothe aroka kũrĩ we. So the scripture speaks of a group of a part of the team that John the baptizing one, or the Baptist as he's called, had as disciples. We know a few of them had left him and had joined the Messiah because they accepted the directions as given by John, that Jesus was the Messiah. Jesus is already introduced as the Messiah. There are some students that are left with John, and they continue following John, but they did not follow Christ or Jesus at this time. So in this verse, we meet some of them, and we are told that they got into there was a controversy between them and a Judean. And most translation will translate the word here, Judaeon, as a Jew. And they were talking about purification, because as we know so far in our discussion, that John was a member of a group that were practicing baptism through water and immersion. And then in the Jewish history or religious history, the idea of purification was a very old idea, and water was involved in it. When we were discussing chapter 2 of John, we experienced a period of purification, and the water that was used at Cana of Galilee was meant for that. So there is a concern from these Judean who comes to a group of disciples, and we know the controversy is around Jesus, because in the second verse we find them coming or going to John, and they speak directly to John. And they say to him, we are coming to you, Rabbi, Murutani, great teacher, because the man, the man whom you testified about is now baptizing. From our previous lesson last week, we saw that Jesus came up geographically to the space where John was. And John says that Jesus actually baptized. So other Gospels, particularly the Synoptics, they try to qualify and say even though Jesus himself did not baptize. But in this case, and we're not going to go into details about that, in this case we have Jesus baptizing, and these people, John's disciple, come to their master because they found him baptizing. And there's something else, that everyone, we don't know whether it's an exaggeration or whether it is true, but they say everyone is going to him. They're getting baptized by him, and they're joining him. So what we see in these two verses is that a group of individuals are invited into a controversy. And the controversy is about purification. But mainly it's not about what they disagree. It's because of somebody else who has come into the scene. Somebody possibly whom they see as a competitor. One who is outperforming them. The Messiah is seen as a competitor by these two groups, and particularly John's group. John's group accepts that invitation of the controversy, and that is why they go to their master, because they are worried. There is fear in their midst. And when you think about it, and when you think about the idea of a group of people suspecting that now that there is somebody else who is more popular than them, they will either lose their position, or they will no longer have a crowd, or they will no longer be or have the clout, as we would say. There is that fear of loss of authority, loss of following, loss of convictions, and all those other things that come with it. So they accepted the invitation from the Judean, and they felt the fear, and they went and addressed it directly to their master. I want to invite you to think about that. I want you to take a moment to think about that invitation and how quickly they accepted the invitation that challenged the position that the Messiah was taking, and that they felt genuinely they were threatened. In our days, we have three major areas of competition. We have the economic forums, or in capitalism societies, when somebody starts a business, they want to outperform you so that they can win your customers, and they can win customers around you, and they make more money. We also have religious competition, and we have seen it, where somebody comes and plants a church just next to you, and just next to the community that you have been pastoring or ministering or you have been outreaching. And without a doubt, you feel the heat. You feel the force of the individual who have come and camped next to you. And even within the society, there is the competition that will come because of positions that we hold or the prestige that come with what we have. And definitely, when somebody comes on scene and takes that position that you have always held, there is always the temptation to get into the competition, just as John's disciples. The mistake that we make as individuals is allowing negative energy from perceived competitors or people who want to outdo us, and we make it our own. John's disciples allowed the negative energy of this Judean who thought that by the Messiah coming into their neighborhood, he was going to steal every individual, every follower, and everybody else who has a clout. And they accepted the invitation. And this is why they went to their master. How many times have you accepted other people's invitation? Negative invitation, negative energy into your space when they come to you. And some people just come to deflate our confidence. Some people come to make us look small in their presence. Some people come to bully us. And I want to believe that there was a bullying going on at this point in time, because definitely the Messiah was gaining his momentum as he revealed who he is to the community. It is not just negative energy that we invite or that we receive from others that definitely destroy us, destroy our personality, destroy who we are and what that which we hold dear. Sometimes we do allow even other people's pain. Possibly the Judean was feeling the heat, because definitely, as we saw in chapter 2 and also now in Jerusalem, we found that now the authority there, the individuals down in Jerusalem are feeling like there's something about this man and we need to stop him. That was their pain. It was not John Baptist disciples' pain. It was the Judean and those in authority who are feeling the heat. Yet the disciples accepted this invitation. In our next broadcast, we will see how John reacted to it. We will see whether John also accepted the invitation of his disciples. But the key thing here tonight, or this morning, is to remind ourselves that in this competitive world, in this world where every other individual wants to feel like they are the best, we have to guard our hearts. We have to guard our spirit. Martin Luther King Jr., one time he preached a sermon on the drum major instinct. And he said that we all have this drum major instinct in us. We all like to be recognized. We like to be patted at the back. We like people talking about us, about our successes. And this can draw us into accepting invitations even when we don't need to get into these invitations. In the political circles, people who are competing with us, people who want to outdo us will demonize. They'll demonize your candidate and you'll demonize their candidate. And when we engage, when we receive these invitations, we definitely lose that which is so dear to us. Our sensibility of self-control, our sensibility of values that we hold dear, and even guarding our heart from those things that can lead us to depression and all those other things. So, my friend, I invite you again, as you think about these two verses, and as you think about the reaction of John's disciples because of a conversation, I want you to ask yourself, where have you allowed other people's negative energy to inform how you react or how you shape your future? Where in your life have you allowed the pain of others to become your pain, even though it does not concern you whatsoever, and you get into things that make no sense in your life? We must learn to guard ourselves from invitations that we get from other people who have these negative vibes and who have these painful experiences, and they want to offload it on us, or even those people who think ill about us and about our success. Thank you so much for being with me tonight and this morning. And I look forward to sharing more and seeing how John himself reacted to the situation, whether he accepted the invitation or whether he chose a different path. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I trust that the Lord is blessing you and that He'll keep you safe in His arms. May the Lord bless you, and bye-bye.